Today's episode is sponsored by Spartan Chemical Company. Family owned and operated since 1956, Spartan Chemical is a leading manufacturer of superior and cost-effective specialty chemical products sold through select, trusted distributors. Spartan Chemical makes clean simple. For more information, please visit spartanchemical.com. Steve Ashkin, welcome once again to Straight Talk. I hope you're doing well today.
Thank you for having me, Jeff, and it is my pleasure to be here.
I want to thank you for your contributions to ISSA, such as with the ISSA Sustainability Committee, but also our media brands. And that's why we're here today to talk about one of your recent contributions. You recently wrote an article we're going to have in CMM Magazine entitled 7 Ideas to Help Discuss Sustainability with Those Who Question It. I like that title. And I was thinking, who would question it? Who would question the topic or the issues of sustainability? I guess there's people out there that do.
I think you guessed right. You know, there's an enormous amount of interest in the concept of sustainability, ESG, climate change, all these different things, equity, all this stuff, right? And there are people who are extraordinarily passionate for it. And the reality is there are some people that have questions, and there are people who think that it's all about politics and a communist plot to try to take over the world. So, being prepared is the best way to be able to deal with things and to figure out how to do things diplomatically and politely and professionally is incredibly important.
Yeah, I've got a copy of the article here, and it's, of course, in the title, 7 Ideas. So great read. But tell me, what is behind this article?
Well, the first thing that I keep thinking about is, number one, the cleaning industry and the work that we do is as professionals, right? This isn't about going to dinner with Uncle Bob and having a few beers and shooting around, just chatting about stuff. This is about business. And, my experience has been, regardless of other people's position, that if we're going to go in and start talking to sustainability to prospects and clients, we run the risk of running into someone who says, nope, that's absolutely false. I don't believe it. We got to think about cow belches and cow farts, or God did it, or, a zillion other reasons. The science isn't clear, whatever it happens to be. And as a business person, we just have to be prepared to be able to appropriately address those people and, frankly, to do it respectfully.
So of these 7 points, are there any that are your favorites or you'd like to expand on?
Well, there are a few. Thank you for asking. The first one, I think, is we should always be polite. I don't think there's any circumstance where we should be rude and we should be a jerk and we should yell at people or we should insult them, even if they treat us that way. There's never a reason to do that. So one is, let's always be polite. But some of the other things that I think are really interesting is, and this is from my personal experience, that if someone has all these objections about the science and they want to quote all this stuff and, whatever their reason is, if they're already convinced that that and they want you to argue science with them, my recommendation is don't take the bait. And forgive me for saying it like that. If they believe the science doesn't support climate change, you're not going to convince them. So as soon as you hear someone starting to object and trying to put you in a position where you got to defend everything, it's hotter here, it's colder there, it's this and that has happened over time, then let's fall back to having a more business discussion. Right? Let's, instead of fighting about the science, let's just recognize that some of our customers or clients care, and representing the organization we work for, where it's our job, right? It's our job to be successful. It's our job to return, the best profitability for our shareholders. That's why we're employed. So if someone doesn't want to talk to us about climate change, we should respectfully say, thanks, I hear you. We have lots of other products and services to sell you. And just to acknowledge, but some of our customers actually really do care about this stuff. And that's why we're bringing it up, just to see where you are and be prepared to help each of our customers in the best way we can.
Okay. You kind of took away one of my questions there, because I was thinking science is the basis of a lot of the things we talk about with sustainability, at least what I see within the news and reports and all that. But at least you give other things to consider. 7. If you take away science, you've got 6 other reasons, or I guess you could say ammunitions, to help people understand sustainability. One of the things in the article, Steve, you mentioned is to develop your expertise. One might wonder, well, how do I do that? How do I become an expert on this topic? What would you tell them?
Well, if they're a member of the cleaning industry, which I suspect is most of the people who listen to this webcast, I would encourage you to consider joining ISSA's Sustainability Committee. So far we have getting close to 200 people from 12 countries or 13 countries around the globe who really are trying to dive into this and understand what it means to people in the cleaning industry, to our manufacturers, to our distributors, to our service providers, to our in-house providers. How does this really apply to them? How do we respond to customer requests? How do we understand who the various sustainability entities are that are requesting information? How to understand, frankly, how to make this profitable for our companies? How do we, right? I mean, there's so many things. So first thing I really would do is join the ISSA Sustainability Committee. Application is free. Did I say free? That's pretty good price. It's free. We have wonderful monthly meetings, and I really do highly encourage people to join. It's an easy way to learn. It's an easy way to learn about how it applies to that cleaning industry, right? We have some specific issues that we deal with. So that's my number one recommendation. It's easy, it's affordable, and I think you'll find it valuable in many, many, many ways.
Not everyone gets to spend time interviewing Steve Ashkin, the founder of the Ashkin Group. Thank you.
And please be prepared, right? If you could start talking sustainability, somebody's going to get in your face and wag their finger in front of you. Just be prepared so you don't have to overreact, that you can be professional, and ultimately, so you can be successful.